Two facts, filed hours apart on the same Saturday, and the whole report lives in the space between them. Fact 1. Iran's foreign minister says a shipping arrangement for the Strait of Hormuz is very close. Fact 2. That same morning, a missile was aimed at an oil tanker crossing that same strait. A deal that is nearly signed, and a sea that is still being shot at. Tonight's file is about the distance between those two facts, who is measuring it, and who is paying the toll while it stays open. The diplomatic account first, precisely as stated. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, Saturday. An arrangement between Iran and Oman covering shipping routes through the strait is, quote, very close. Note what that deal is and is not. It is a bilateral arrangement with Oman, the neighbor across the water, not a treaty with Washington. And Araghchi himself attached the catch. A full reopening of Hormuz, he says, depends on the United States honoring commitments from a June memorandum, the same memorandum Iran accuses the U.S. of already violating. So read the foreign minister carefully, crew. Even in his own telling, the deal that is very close does not open the strait. The strait opens when Washington pays a price Tehran has not finished naming. Now widen the frame inside Tehran, because the government is not describing one process. It is describing three. Araghchi, you heard, the Oman channel, nearly done. The Revolutionary Guard spokesman, General Hossein Mohebbi, same Saturday, the reopening, quote, has its own specific mechanism, separate from the Oman talks entirely, and it happens when the United States accepts Iran's conditions. And the Parliament's Security Committee spokesman, Hassan Qashqavi, speaking Friday, the framework is agreed, and it is waiting on approval from, quote, higher levels. Three officials, three accounts. They do not contradict each other outright, and that is exactly what should catch your eye. A deal that is simultaneously nearly finished, running on a separate military track, and awaiting a sign-off from someone nobody names. Now the water, where the record is written in metal. Early Saturday, a vessel belonging to ADNOC, the United Arab Emirates State Oil Company, was targeted by a missile while crossing the strait. No casualties this time. The UAE Foreign Ministry called it, quote, piracy, and attributed it to the Revolutionary Guard by name. That is the Emirates' accusation, entered as theirs. Iran offered no response in the reporting we cite. And this was not an isolated round. By Gulf News' count, it was the 16th attack on shipping since this war began. Across that arc, 1 crew member killed, 20 wounded. Merchant sailors, crew, civilians with a cargo manifest. The sea keeps its own ledger of how close the deal is. What is actually on the table, per the record? An interim arrangement running about 60 days, U.S. media have said, extendable. Designated lanes that route traffic through Iranian waters inbound. A coordinated fee system, still under discussion, for passage through a strait that carries about 1/5 of the world's oil in peacetime. And unresolved above all of it, the American naval blockade, and whether it lifts. Put plainly, the framework under negotiation is not just about reopening a waterway. It is about who administers it afterward, and at what price per hull. The Guard spokesman said the quiet part himself, calling the strait a component of geopolitical and strategic power. Meanwhile, Brent crude closed Friday near $83, which is the fee the whole world is already paying, deal or no deal. Fair shake both directions. To Tehran's credit, layered states negotiate in layers, and three accounts that do not quite align is how a system with a foreign ministry, a parliament, and a Praetorian Guard actually talks. Nothing there proves bad faith. And to the skeptics' credit, a missile aimed at a civilian tanker, in the same week the reopening is called very close, is not noise. It is the measure. Here is the honest read, crew. The Iran and Oman joint statement may well be signed within days. The drafting is reportedly in its final stage. If it signs, the headlines will say deal. File this before the headlines get there. By the foreign minister's own words, the deal does not open the strait. The strait opens when the shooting stops and the conditions clear, and neither of those appeared in any account on Saturday. After action, short form. A deal can be very close and the water can still be hot, because they are two different facts, measured by two different instruments. The communique measures intent, the sea measures reality, and the sea's count is 16 attacks, 1 dead merchant sailor, 20 wounded, and a tanker with a missile aimed at it on the very Saturday the deal was called close. The beneficiary of the framework, whoever finishes it, gets to administer one of the most valuable waterways on Earth. The toll, until then, is paid by crews who signed on to haul cargo, not to be targets, and by everyone buying energy at war prices. Watch the water, not the wording. When the strait is actually open, no one will need to announce it. you will see it in the ship tracks. That is the file. I'm Mark, and this is Pixel Politics.